Welcome to Survival Fire number 5. This is the Survival Fire Long Fire, or also has another name called the Parallel Fire. Glad to have you guys back, and yeah, this will be a good video. So I'm out here at my parents' and on their back property. Of course, I'm in their timber. And yesterday evening, I got the wood ready and stuff. However, because I was coming to make this video today for you guys, and it poured down rain about 9:30 last night. I'm like, oh man. And I had all the wood laid out. I should have covered it up, but I didn't. However, with us being under a canopy here, really help keep the wood dry. And I'm going to show you a sign to see how wet the wood is if you're wanting to make a fire with wet wood. And also, another thing is, when you go camping and you want to make fires, you never know what your weather's going to be, because I can tell you right now, the weathermen are never right half the time. So with that said, you always want to have backup fire starter. I brought my fat wood stick, you've seen in an earlier video if you watch my other videos, and some birch bark, which is soaking wet. But we're going to try this birch bark out as well and see if it goes too, because this has a lot of oil on it. But like I said, you want to always have backup. In today's society, we have a lot of modern products. So I have with me some military grade trioxane fuel. Okay, so I will take you down here and I'll show you what we have to get the fire going. Before I go any farther, I want to mention that there are different variations of this long fire. For my research, there's a shorter version of it. It's called the trapper's fire. It's basically the same thing, just with shorter logs. But this is a long one. Now you can do this with a third log as well, and I believe that third log would go in the middle. But that's a whole nother fire we're going to do. But that's also called long fire, I believe. But this is going to be variation, let's just say variation 1 of the long fire. Okay, just want to get that out there. Okay, here we have our 2 main logs that create the long fire, or also called the parallel fire. And this one is actually one that I've used already in a past overnighter I did, I think almost 2 years ago. Here we have our bottom platform, which is oak bark, and this is good to start your fire with. It's good for a platform to put your bird's nest that you have, or your fat wood, or whatever you're going to use to ignite your fire. And here you have your kindling, which is like finger length, or not finger length, but finger width. And then you got like this is your tinder. This would be your first thing you'd set on your first initial fire source. And we have our fuel as well, which is the bigger sticks you'll throw on last. So here's one of the kindling sticks, and I came out here and I was like, man, it looks wet, but it doesn't look that wet, because I believe the canopy above us kept a lot of this dry. But what you'd look for is you'd want to snap it. See how I just snapped that clean? You're dry. I'm dry on the inside. Just the outside it's wet, so this stuff's going to burn. Okay, I think I'm going to use this birch bark. It's a little damp, but I think it's going to work. It's got a lot of oils on it, and it's still crisp, so it should be fine. Might not need that trioxane fuel. I might just try this in the fat wood. Let's just do that. Of course, Pocket Bushman is still going strong. It's a little bit of a slow start, but it's going. As you see, it's burning just slowly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these bigger kindling to kind of dry out a little bit as we're getting the fire going. So this is another thing you can do with this type of fire. If you got wet wood, you got 2 logs, you can put your wood here to dry out while you're doing your other fire. Or while you're doing your main fire. You get these start to dry out a little bit. Just kind of do like a little crisscross pattern, and that's really going to help it dry out. You won't be stuffing it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw that whole fat wood stick in the bottom of this. That should help it out quite a bit. Okay, so we got the fire going pretty good. So we're going to let that just do its thing for a moment. You just saw me put the fat wood stick in the bottom. That's really going to help a lot. Now, I like to use bark as my platform, and this is the reason why. I put like 3 layers of bark underneath here. And that being said, it's because that bark has got 3 layers to burn through. Now, if you were to do a wet fire like this on just the soil, on the dirt, and your tinder that you first ignited goes out, I mean, it's got nothing to burn down to. It's got nothing to hold its flame and hold its heat. So with the bark on there, yeah, it was a little damp, but it wasn't soaking wet, so it's going to work, and it did. However, with wet fires, you got to work quite a bit more. And so I've been blowing really, really a lot on here. But as you can see here, the fat wood stick really did a great job really getting it going again. So that's what the fat wood stick did. The whole thing I put in. And so now my next step is to start putting my fuel on. But I need to put my fuel on top little by little, and I need to put fuel on the side so it's drying as I'm putting the regular fuel on top. That way you're killing, how's it go, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So let's do that next. It's really going now, guys. And this is how you dry out wet wood with this type of fire. Alright guys, so while this is burning down and turning to coals so we can cook on, I'm going to do an unboxing from a faithful subscriber and a friend of the family. Ron is his name, and he got me this Outdoor Edge Chow Pow Mealtime multi-tool. Yeah, it's pretty nice, and it's very nice of him. And thank you, Ron, again for this multi-tool.
So this we'll use for my coffee. Pocket Bushman. That's that right there.
Well, here it is. It's a knife on a spoon that folds. Press down that and it folds in. Even got a nice little carry set comes with it. Then you got a fork. It's got multi-tools. Got like Allen wrench heads on it, can opener. That is pretty darn cool. The fork clips on here. Whoops. And then it slides down, locks in. And you just put it away in the bag. But we're going to use this for the coffee. Thank you, Ron. So we have the long fire going now, or also called the parallel fire. Now, I don't know, I think I've already told you that there are different variations of this fire. Now I can already see, you know, maybe some people say, well, that's not really a long fire because, you know, you have to have the fire going the whole length of the logs. Well, yeah, you can do that too, but you know, like I said earlier, there's different variations of this fire. In my situation, everything was wet, so I had to kind of improvise. I kind of had to do something different. You know, I dried the wood out on the two logs, and that's what's good about this fire, is that you can dry stuff out on it too. You can have heat come in, or not heat, but you can have air come in the bottom to dry out your fuel, which I have it laying across the logs. And there's just there's all kinds of different things you can do with this fire. Now this fire here is for an overnight. It's an overnight fire. It's not really just like a day campfire. I mean, yeah, you could do that, but it's just not what it's really intended for. Now, this is kind of along the lines with the Siberian log fire. It's a good winter fire. It is, because this fire will burn all night. Like I said, you have the logs there. Those logs will burn all night. And what's great about this fire is once the fire burns down, you have coals to cook on. So you can lay a pot across there or whatnot, but what we're going to do is we're going to make some coffee. So I'm going to let those coals burn down. Now what I like is that in the morning, you'd probably more or less likely, depending on how big you make this fire, and this variation is pretty big. So by morning time, if I was going to camp out, I would have coals in the morning. So I could just take that coal, put it in a bird's nest, or just get some tinder or some kindling, whatever, just throw it on top of them coals, wait about 5 minutes, blow on the coals, and boom, you got fire. So that's what's cool about this. So I can make cook my breakfast. I know you just cook breakfast, so it's just coffee in the morning. And that's what's also great about this fire. Now, like I said, there's other variations. So another variation you could do is you could put sticks under your 2 logs. The sticks would go under these 2 logs here on the bottom. And you do it on both sides. Now the reason why you could put sticks on the bottom is because you can have air come in. So when you have your fire and it's burning down, it creates coals, right? So the air will come underneath there and hit them coals and produce more heat and produce more fire and heat. So it helps it keep circulating better to keep it going. But in all honesty, in the conditions that I'm in, it would work good because everything's kind of wet, but as you can see right now, everything is going pretty good. The coals are there. Now this might be good to do for like if you're going to do it in the morning or something. I don't know. But yeah, this is the long parallel fire. So if I can think of anything else here in a little bit as we're getting coffee going, I'll bring it up. But yeah, all right. Well, let's go down here and get some coffee going. And I have the good stuff. This is the Nescafe Gold Espresso, Instant Espresso. Oh yeah. Some good stuff here, guys. Premium espresso instant coffee. So here I'm creating somewhat of a flat surface because it's still a pretty good fire going. Just want to be able to put my thing on here without it, so I can pick it back out. But like in the morning time, you could just set it right in the coals because it's not going to be like this hot. But right now this fire is still going good, so okay. We'll let that sit for a little bit. The fuel that I was drying on the outside, my main fire in the middle, it's starting to come over. And that's what you want. You want to burn the whole length of the logs, especially in winter time, because this is more of like a winter fire, but you can use it all seasons though. Same thing with over here, all that fuel that I was drying, it's all working its way down. So that actually worked out really well, putting that fuel up there to dry, because now it's working all the way down the length of both logs, and that's what you want. Looks like the water's about done, so let's get some coffee. You guys see that on camera? Oh, this stuff is so good. Very expensive, but it's premium instant espresso. We'll put in, I think we'll just put in, oh, why not? Let's go ahead and just do one more. Get 3 good ones. Oh yeah. It's the only way to do it, guys. Make it strong. That is good espresso, and that's instant espresso. For some reason, I like to drink instant coffee out in nature, because I don't know, for some reason to me, if I have premium good, real like ground coffee beans, it's too good. It can't be that good. And I don't know what it is, but when it comes to instant coffee, it's like, to me, it's more like survival coffee, because it's instant and it'll last for a long time. I don't know, that's just my mindset. Maybe it's just me, but for some reason instant coffee is just a lot easier to make. Great fire for cooking. I mean, look at it. We started out with wet wood, and now look what we got. Now granted, that fat wood stick helped out a lot, so yep. Well, guys, I will set you over here by the fire and let you watch the fire for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and close it up after that. Okay, guys, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed that little fire, the fire scene I gave you guys. Just kind of enjoy the sound of nature and the sound of the fire going and the wet wood burning. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this video. Now this fire is still going really well. You can see it right there. Like I said, this fire is an overnight fire, but obviously I'm not saying overnight because I have to work tomorrow. So what we're gonna do is, well, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this fire out. I'm gonna separate the logs and we're gonna save it for an overnighter. This is, I think, gonna be my new location. This is at my parents' property, and if you guys can see the location here, kind of see behind me there. But yeah, this is going to be our next overnighter, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So we'll be out here again. I don't know what my next video is going to be, just depending on how busy I am. But as you did learn in this video, I hope, is that nature doesn't always cooperate, and I like that because it puts me in a challenge. It makes me have to think more. It makes me have to improvise, and it helps sharpen up my skills at learning how to create fires, not only in dry conditions when everything's going great for you, because in a real survival situation, not everything's going to go great for you, and you don't want to be in a survival situation. That's the last thing you want to be in. So it does kind of help. It does, I mean, it does help to sharpen your skills. So yeah, I was glad to bring you guys along, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll be out here doing an overnighter soon with a poncho. And that's another upcoming video. I have a new poncho setup that I made for my USGI poncho, Helicontex poncho. And yeah, I don't know when we'll get out here, but we will. But I was glad to bring you guys along. I enjoy having you guys, and I really appreciate you guys watching my videos, taking the time out and commenting and subscribing and all that stuff. So with that being said, we're getting close to 300 subscribers. So I'm thinking about maybe doing another giveaway at 300. So we'll see. Alright guys, if you would please hit that subscribe button and then hit the notification bell so you'll get all notifications for my videos. And I couldn't do it without you guys, so I appreciate your help. And I love sharing my content with you and bringing you along for the Scotty survival adventure. Alright guys, God bless you and take care, and see you in the next video. Bye.